Hey everybody, it's... I mean, you know what, fuck it. Hey everybody, it's Drewski McGillicuddy. You ain't gonna believe this fucking shit. Guess what fucking happened again? Yeah, you better fucking be recording. I just sat here for like 20 fucking minutes with Comedy Gold, just talking about Creepshow 2, one of my favorite fucking horror movies of all time. And didn't fucking record none of it. So now I gotta talk about it again. Alright? So let me start out by saying there are things about this movie that I don't like as much as the first movie. But overall, this, I think, is the better movie. One of the things being the prologue in the original, I think, was a lot better. I think the way the creep looked in the original was a lot better. I don't know why the creep couldn't have looked like he did on the cover or whatever. Just the Grim Reaper look. He looks all cartoony. Tom Savini plays the creep, and he did the makeup for the creep, but he looks really cartoony. Maybe it's because he turns into a fucking cartoon. Yeah, that's right. The prologue and the epilogue to this one is animated, but it's that cool 1980s animation. You know what I'm talking about. Like all the cartoons in the 80s had kick-ass animation. And so does this. It's just I don't like the story as much as the one in the original. This one, it's this boy Billy. He's getting bullied. Billy's getting bullied. And it's like these kids that are like way too old to be picking on this little fucking 10-year-old kid. Like these 17, 18, I don't know. But anyway, we're not here to talk about the prologue and epilogue. That's not the movie. That's just, hey, here, we're getting the stories ready for you. We're going to hand them to you. So we got Old Chief Woodenhead. And it's been brought to my attention that some of you out there have not seen this fucking movie. The fuck is the matter with you? This is one of the best fucking horror movies ever made. And let me tell you why. Even though, I'll be honest with you, when I was a little kid, I did not appreciate Old Chief Woodenhead the way that I do today as an adult. Okay? Just something about it I didn't understand. But anyway, you get this old guy. He's out there. He lives in this old small town. All the shit's dried up. There's no jobs. All the businesses are going under. He's one of the last businesses in the town. And he helps out everybody in the town as much as he can because a lot of the people in the town are just barely getting by. So if he's got something he can help out with, he helps out. He's a real good person. And you find that out. They explain that to you by, good storytelling. Whatever. But he's out there, he's painting Old Chief Woodenhead. And here comes Old Chief Joseph, or whatever. This Old Chief Joseph looking motherfucker. And him and his people owe John, or whatever the fuck the old man's name is, they owe him a bunch of money. But they ain't got no money. So they give him a bunch of family heirlooms that are near and dear to their people. And at first he doesn't want to accept it, but the old chief tells him, it'll be an insult if you don't take it. All right? Now, the fact that some of you haven't seen this, I don't know if I want to spoil anything, but I still want to talk about it. So, the chief's grandson, we'll call him Hollywood. He's this white guy that they painted red, which is completely racist. This would not even fly today. This is whitewashing at its finest. Anyway, they paint him red and they put this god-awful wig on him. I mean, it's just the worst fucking wig I've ever seen. And he keeps addressing how amazing his hair is. It's like, no, it isn't, you fucking asshole. But anyway, you got him, and you got Fat Boy, one of his little carnies, and then, or is that what you call him? But anyway, and then you got this little bitch boy that does whatever he's told because he's scared of Hollywood, whatever. So they do some bad stuff, okay? And then some bad stuff happens to them. And that's Chief Woodenhead. Old Chief Woodenhead. Now, the way this is shot, like, they don't just show the Indian walking around killing motherfuckers. It's shot very stylistic and very creatively. I love, like, especially the one shadow kill where he walks up behind. It kind of reminds me of the one kill from Friday the 13th Part 4. But we're not here to talk about that. And I swear to God, if I got to do this one more time, I quit. I quit YouTube. Never doing it again. I'm just going to watch movies. I'm not going to talk about them. But anyway, yeah, the kills in this segment are fucking awesome. And when I was a little kid, I didn't get it because I wanted to see the blood and the guts. But as an adult, I appreciate the style and the creativity that was put in to everything about this segment. But anyway, so yeah, if you haven't seen this, I'm not going to fucking talk about it too much because I don't want to ruin it for you. Now, I might ruin the second and the third one. I don't know. Because we're going to move on to The Raft, which is probably, like, if you take Dawn of the Dead and Monster Squad out of the equation, this might be the best thing to ever happen to horror ever. Like, this little 15-minute segment, or however long this segment is, like, I wish this had its own movie. If somehow I could sit down with a group of people and we could figure out how to just maybe make this an anthology movie and just have 3 different groups of characters that happen to stumble upon this particular body of water and see how 3 different groups of people deal with this situation. Because you got these college kids, okay? And they're driving this fancy yellow Camaro and they're going up to the lake for one last hurrah for Indian summer. It's Indian summer, so school had already started, I guess, and they're wanting to take a break before shit gets serious. I have no idea. I have no idea what the fuck they're doing up here. But you got Pretty Boy McCoy. Looks like he's probably a football player. He's got some doobies rolled up. He tucks them up in his Speedo, up under his balls, and then you got the nerdy guy, and then the 2 hot chicks, and then well, the one, she seems like your girl next door type, and the other one, you know, she seems like she's there to party. Excuse me. So, the water's cold as fuck, but they're going to swim out to this raft anyway. And while they're swimming out to the raft, the old nerdy dude, he sees this bird trapped in this pile of garbage bags floating on top of the water. At least that's what it looks like. But then again, no, not necessarily, because when it gets closer, it doesn't look like garbage bags. But when I was a little kid, I always thought that's what it was. I thought it was haunted garbage bags. But what it really is I don't know. I don't know what the fuck it is. I don't even know what the fuck they used to make this. Maybe they used garbage bags or a tarp. It looks like they probably have a tarp, but I don't know what the fuck's on it because it's got like creepy looking shit mixed into it. I guess to represent all the things that it's eaten. Because yeah, this thing eats things. It eats people. Spoiler alert, some of the people die in the most gruesome, horrific ways possible. One of the guys gets sucked down through a tiny little hole in the raft by his foot. And then, yeah, some of the kills. And then, like, oh, God. Why couldn't the first one have fucking worked? This is so hard doing, like, a second time all the way through, just so you know. Anyway, so the one bitch, she's taking a nap, which is a terrible idea. You should never take a nap when there's something trying to eat you. Just let that be a lesson in life. If there's something trying to eat you, maybe stay awake or you're going to fucking die. She lays her head on the board and it seeps up through and it grabs her face. And this is one of the coolest fucking scenes in a horror movie ever. This whole fucking segment is the coolest scene in any horror movie ever. Okay? I can't stress that enough. This is some cool shit. This made me afraid to go in the water for a while. Fuck Jaws. This shit made me afraid to take a bath. Okay? That's not true. But, you know, you get what I'm saying. If you haven't seen this, holy shit, this right here alone is all the more reason you need to watch this movie. Okay? Now, I guess we'll go ahead and move along to the other greatest thing to ever happen to horror movies ever, is The Hitchhiker. Like, oh my God. So there's this ugly bitch, right? And she's cheating on her husband. And I think she has to pay for it because she's an ugly bitch and she's got some fugly looking titties. I don't know if they show her fugly looking titties, But like the bra or whatever she's wearing that I do remember, you just kind of tell that they're probably fugly looking titties. Anyway, she's leaving her lover's house. She's late. She's fucking late. And she's trying to get home before her husband so that he don't catch her and whatever. So she's driving along, and there's this black dude. And he's just standing there in the middle of the road, needs a ride to somewhere. Dover? Is that what? I can't remember. He needs a ride somewhere. Okay? And she don't see him because she's fiddle farting around doing something. And she runs his ass over. And instead of getting out and calling 911, because she's one of them rich bitches, and she's got a car phone, but she don't call 911. She just drive off, turn her headlights off, and drive off. But then she starts seeing this guy flagging her down every time she stops the car. And it starts to drive her crazy. So she hits him one more time. But then it gets even crazier and scarier and horrifying. And now I'm going to have fucking nightmares just from talking about this shit. Thanks for the ride, lady. So yeah, this guy, once she keeps hitting him, he gets more and more grotesque and terrifying every time you see him. And he is persistent about thanking her for the ride that she never gave him. Or did she? She rides him all over the fucking place. Like, this is one of the best things, like, scariest shit. Like, I was talking about movies that scared me, like, in that one video, maybe you've heard of it. If you haven't, I got a bunch of videos on my channel that I need to organize. You can scroll through, and if you see a title that strikes your fancy, watch that. Even though nobody's going to watch this one, nobody watched the other one. Maybe it's because the background music was too loud. But we're not here to talk about all that. We're talking about how scary The Hitchhiker in Creepshow 2 is. And like, I almost can't decide between this and The Raft. Both of these could be their own movie, and if they did it right, they would be the best horror movies ever made. And that's why Creepshow 2 is one of the best horror movies ever made, because it's unique. It's got, hell, the first one's got 5 different unique stories, and then this one's got 3 different unique stories. I mean, because you got your slashers, and they're all pretty much the fucking same. They're carbon copies. A bunch of teenagers go somewhere, a bunch of teenagers get killed for smoking drugs and having sex. And then you got your haunted house movies. They're all the fucking same. Something starts moving around, somebody makes a scary face, scary noises, blah, 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 blah. And then you got fucking Creepshow 1 and Creepshow 2. And they've got some of the most unique and terrifying tales of terror you've ever fucking put your eyes on. And then you've got Creepshow 3. Motherfucker. I swore I wouldn't do it. But you know what? Sarah, the secretary, has never seen Creepshow 3. And if you haven't seen Creepshow 3, I would not recommend it. But since she's never seen it, and I think it would be worth fucking putting myself through, I'm going to go watch it again just so I can review it. But I don't know when that's going to be, because I'm going to have to pay for it, and I ain't got that kind of money to be spending $3 on Creepshow 3. Anyway, what the fuck are we talking about? God damn it. I ain't doing this again. Hopefully this is good enough for you people. I'll make sure not to fuck up the audio when I'm editing this tonight. But anyway, then you got the epilogue. Little boy, Billy, getting picked on. Bunch of Venus flytraps. Fat kids. Don't worry about it. If you haven't seen the movie, fucking watch the goddamn movie. I cannot stress enough how badly, if you haven't seen this fucking movie, you need to stop what the fuck you're doing right now, like the video, share and subscribe, and go watch this fucking movie. Because, obviously, I'm giving it the Drum Dum's Purple Unicorn! Woo! Yeah. This movie is a absolute must-own. And if you haven't seen it, like I said, fucking shame on you. The one for the fact I thought I'd miss, I'd spit at my camera so that it looks like I'm spitting in your face. Actually, I wouldn't do that. That's rude. Anyway, like I said, like, share, and subscribe. And for fuck's sakes, go watch Creepshow 2 if you haven't already. I mean, bet you Lee McCoy hasn't seen Creepshow 2.